Thank you for being there in the other side. We are going to start our class today about Sacadas Bajas.
Okay? Sacadas Bajas, yes. A Sacada Baja is an idea, basically, because really a Sakada does not exist as a concept in itself, in reality. Sacar means to remove. It means to extract, to take out. But there is actually nothing that you need to do to take out your partner's food. Sometimes when we put too much emphasis on that, there could be an injury in the attempt to remove the food. For example, a sacada is a moment in which both feet make contact here. You see, but you do not have to physically remove your partner's foot. You don't have to physically push it out of the way. This is an illusion that occurs simply because there is a merging zone. There is the foot of the lead coming in and the foot of the follow moving out. That blending zone, that area in common, is where the sacada happens. But really, if you're leading your partner into a front ocho, for example, and you bring your foot forward in front of her foot, and she walks out, the sacada happens by itself. You don't have to worry about physically removing the foot. What you have to worry is about leading your partner to continue moving in the direction in which you want her to go, in this case. But today we're going to explore both ways. We're going to explore the sacada from the lead to the follow and the sacada from the follow to the lead. That means the lead is going to be the receiver of the energy, is going to be the receiver of the sacada, not only the giver.
Correct. Yes. I really love doing those sacadas when they feel very organic, they feel very nice in the body. Okay, so let's start working on them a little bit.
I like to dance a song with you to bring a little bit of music and warm up our bodies, and then we can do some exercises like you suggest.
Okay.
Sounds good to you?
Let's dance.
Great, thank you. Meanwhile, I'm going to check with our friends here, see if everything is okay. Yeah, very nice. Okay, well, we are going to begin with a song by Lo Muto.
Lo muto.
Y no puedo olvidar, porque sos toda mi ilusión. No vendrás, y yo esperándote estoy, mi bien, con la fe del que ama como amo yo. Yo añoro de ti, caricias de ayer, anhelante mi buen corazón.
movement that we're going to work on today requires counter body, requiere torsión del cuerpo. Esto es fundamental en el tango argentino, la torsión del cuerpo, la contraposición del cuerpo y las caderas. Counter body rotation. What do we mean when we say that? Counter body rotation is the action in which you send your foot towards your left and your torso towards your right. Or with your left foot towards the right and cross the body towards the left. This is a counter body movement, counter body position, counter rotation, contra body, you name it. You get the point. The upper body circuit moves clockwise while the lower body circle moves counterclockwise in opposition. This is what we call to be disconnected or connected or disassociated, because you don't associate the movement of the upper body with the lower body, or associated. A movement in which you move left hip and left shoulder at the same time is associated. When you move crossing like this is disassociated. This is fundamental for tango because a lot of the things that we do have a built-in requirement for counter position.
And the first exercise I would like to do is simple. It's just to check out what we are doing with our body when we do this association. So as you are standing there, if you can flex your feet, you can flex your knees, and you can extend one leg out. So the only thing I would like you to pay attention is that when the leg is out in this fashion, it's not turned out, ¿sí? Mi pierna no está turned out, está straight, okay? Está derecha mi pierna, ¿sí? So when you move your torso, so you can open here your arms if you want, or put them in your hips or in your waist. And when you want to face that direction, so when you turn your torso to one of the directions, not to move the position you have in your leg and in your hip. So you are going to isolate what happened in your torso in relationship with your hips. So it's a very simple thing, but it requires kind of an attention to the hip and the leg. So as you are here, the only thing you're going to do is to turn your torso. But you see how isolated my movement is? So if you feel like yourself, when you start doing that, you start turning the leg, see that? That's what we are not trying to do. We are not trying to let that leg go. We are keeping it exactly where it is in a straight position till our hips, and we activate our upper torso to turn. So as much as you can, okay? Just as much as, this is my maximum in this position, and bend this knee so you don't put a lot of tension for no reason in your back. So you are here bent with the leg straight, and you turn to one side, but with the upper torso, from the waist all the way up, you turn, and you go here. You can do it with the open here. Just control that the arms go, not by themselves, right? It's the torso who initiates this position in your body. So then you change to the other leg and you do the same. Straight leg there, it's not turned out, it's just straight. You put your arms here maybe, just so you don't do much with the arms, but you do it with your torso.
It's very hard not to move the hips here.
I know. So as you do this, you might feel that this area here is working to keep that position in there. Because if you relax that position, very soon you will find yourself turning like this. And this means that you are not disassociating because you are aligning your hips with your torso all the time. Entonces la gente deja su pierna como está y solamente con el torso, a su máximo, cualquiera sea ese máximo, van sin alterar la posición de la
Exactly,
pierna.
that's a good point, to say what the maximum is, to recognize what the maximum rotation of the torso is, because if we focus too much on quantity, then we don't see the quality.
Exactly.
Here, it doesn't matter, you gotta be honest to yourself.
Yes.
Know how far you turn your shoulders and your upper back and mid back without incorporating your hips from the waist up. If that is 25 degrees, let it be. If that is 45 degrees, then even better. But you want to maximize the rotation here. It is pointless to turn your hips. It is pointless to turn your thighs for you to have instant gratification and they have a feel-good moment saying, oh, look how much I can turn. I mean, it's pointless here. The point is to turn the upper body, activate the space between the vertebrae and turn in every disc a few degrees.
Exactly, and the same we are going to do now with one leg in front and the other in the back. So, and this is going to be done with locked knees. Las rodillas van a estar estiradas ahora, pongan un pie delante del otro, es muy simple, y las rodillas estiradas. Quiere decir, no estoy en ninguna clase de flexión, mis rodillas están estiradas. Entonces, este es mi frente en este momento. Puedo abrir mis brazos acá y en esta posición, en un peso repartido entre las dos piernas, sin levantar los talones del piso, so the heels are on the floor and our knees are locked, we are going to do the same.
Hola.
There.
Hola, mucho gusto.
See that? And you go back to you align your hips and your torso, and you go a little bit there. It might be little, you see. I'm not really going all the way because I cannot actually with the knee when the knees are locked. So my possibility of rotation is less. But what happens is I'm more aware of this workout, right? So if we do it in the other side, so I will put my other foot in the front and the other in the back. I will do the same. So I'll align your shoulders. If you are is kind of a person that has this kind of back with rolling shoulders, you better position your shoulders correctly to do this, okay? So, and once you are there, the same, you go to the other side. The idea is not to make your hips part of the movement, right? It's just my torso. So my torso is going, but my hips are really working hard to stay there, right? So it's about my torso, without my hips or my legs involved in that, okay? I'm saying this because in the actual step that we are going to do, as you are right now, I would like you to actually transfer your weight to the front leg, okay? In this case, it's my right leg, okay? So you transfer your weight there and try to do the same thing that you did before. So this hip here is working hard to keep that leg in the back. See that? I'm
sweating already.
If you find yourself doing that, if you find the back leg doing that, it means that your hip is being involved in your torso, your torso movement, with your torso movement. So try to keep the leg where it was, there. You have to bend your knee forward here, and from there you are going to just turn your torso. But this area, here, this area, is really stretching, okay? So let's do it one time with the other leg. So you put the other leg
The struggle
front.
is real, that's the point.
You put the other leg front, but this time you're going to bend that knee. Okay, let's do something. Let's go back to a split position. Let's do it a little bit with a split position there, as we did before. Okay, there, yeah. We go back. Okay, and now that you establish this, that you are moving only the torso, you are going to transfer your weight forward, completely forward, like you did a step, let's say, forward, and you are going to turn your torso without releasing the tension that you have in your leg to keep that leg in the back, okay?
It's a stretch.
Good, yes.
It's definitely a stretch. It activates all the muscles in the intercostal muscles between the ribs and the lower back, the waist. Everything is really engaged. The thighs, the hips, the glutes, everything works in counter position for resisting that.
Correct, yes.
Important to incorporate the shoulders or not to deform the shoulders like you would say. So I think sometimes people don't remember or is not aware of what the importance of the contraction in the back of the body. So would you like to share with people your shoulder rounds that we do on Tuesday classes? Eva continues to teach our online Tuesday classes. It's tango conditioning or body conditioning for tango dancers. This happens on Tuesdays at 6, and we have a limited group of people who are joining us live. And these classes are interactive. Eva can see you on the screen if you choose to turn it on and point it towards you. And then we can give you feedback as to what we're doing. Sadly, this cannot be done in Facebook because of the one-way streaming capabilities of the software. But on Tuesdays, through Zoom, we can do that. And the good news is that very soon we are going to upload all these courses onto Patreon, and if you join us there, you will have access to all the pre-recorded classes and all the content and material that we are creating for all of us.
So,
Shall we do those?
Yeah.
I love those.
Sí, vos estás hablando del que es con un brazo cada uno, ¿no? Porque
Girar,
así-
precisamente girar, sí.
Okay, so Patricio is talking about a specific exercise to feel your back. Okay, so when we do this, so if you stand up, I will be sideways so you can see. Okay, so I'm sideways here. I'm very straight with my shoulders back. Okay, and from here you're going to choose any arm, and you're going to do a big circle. So you are going to go front. But in this case, I don't want you to go front like that. I don't want the shoulder to go front. So the shoulder stays where it is. And you're just working up the arm here, the length that the arm have, okay? And from here, you're going to go on top of your head. And in this position, you're going to feel here in your back. Because to go back, you can't really just go back straight like that. You need to open, okay? So you need to lift this area. You need to lift, you see that? So from here, I'm lifting so I can keep going to the back. Okay, so you see my position where my body is right now. Okay, so you're going to go again, you're going to go align your shoulders back, and you go front to the top of your head, and here you make room. You see, it's like this area here is kind of, I lift so I can go back with the arm. Okay, so that will help you to open, you know, to have a better posture, you know, with your shoulders in a good position. So the other arm, you do the same. You just go to the front, to the top, and here you lift. You see, it's like I expand, so I can keep doing the turn. And I go front to my top of my head, I lift, so this is the moment I want you to see. I lift, so the arm can keep going back. Yes, so it feels nice here, like everything kind of stretched, so you can go actually to a good posture. Yes? So.
Very nice. I love this one. I think it works together with the counter body rotations, because you really can't do a lot of counter body rotation when your shoulders are forward like this.
Yes.
And if the follow needs space like this, and you have your chest strength and your rear rotator cuff on extension, and here the upper body like that, sometimes we see this kind of embrace, but we forget to hold the back of our body. So as you push those backs and you hold your muscles back, and you then cross your body, you are going to gain a lot more rotation simply by having your elbows back with your shoulders and opening the front.
Yes.
Pichi from Devoto, Argentina, Buenos Aires, is also with us. Pichi, ¡mua! Un beso grande y un gusto que nos estés mirando. Gracias por tus saludos y bueno, ya nos hablaremos pronto.
Muy bien. Vamos a hacer el paso. ¿Qué te parece?
Me parece bien.
Yes.
Yo quería hacer un ejercicio más. So, ¿cuál es el paso? ¿Cuál es el paso, mi amor?
El paso
¿Qué querés
que
hacer?
de acá entro allá, o el tuyo, que entras caminando a la sacada, ¿no? Uno de esos dos. Los
¿Cuál?
dos.
A ver.
El caminado, sacada caminada.
Ok. So, tenemos que empezar desde el principio con la sacada. La sacada es el momento de contacto entre el paso del que hace la sacada y el paso del que la recibe y sale. La persona que recibe, en este caso el follow, la mujer, está haciendo un 8 hacia adelante. As I take a step with her, I have my right leg available there, and I can take a step front in there. She crosses into a front 8, and we go side again. Sacada, front 8, sacada. You see, I try to go towards the front, sliding my toe. I don't normally don't go like that, because really, there's no room for that. Let's bring the footwork camera.
Okay.
And hopefully next week, the footwork camera is going to change next week, because the switcher does not accept wireless cameras, but we're going to figure out something else. Footwork cam. There you go. Very important. And something that I like about this Tango is that one thing, nothing comes by itself. Nothing is separated or independent from anything. One thing correlates with the other, one after the other. Because of one thing, then there is another one that can happen. And for example, here, we're talking about the quality of your walking. When you guys go forward, you have to really point those feet as you leave them. Right here, this right here. So gorgeous. Look at this beautiful pointed foot leaving the floor right there. That is the moment in which I will come into the front and do my Sakada right here. You see, this is designed, this foot is designed for the shoe, right? So as my partner walks and she points that foot, then the angle on which this is connecting to the floor, 45 degrees, there's no way I can step on her, especially if I come sliding my toes. Then she walks over. Look at that moment right there. She continues extending until she takes off, as if you are peeling off the foot off the floor. Look at Eva's mechanic as she does every front ocho here. Okay, stay right there, please. Do you see what I'm saying? Right here, she is going straight, and the last thing that touches her foot is her toenail. Then my foot comes in here at this angle, and she steps over my foot as she walks. Can you walk past me? And there, you see, you don't hook your partner's foot. Often it happens that I do this Sakada, and the unsuspecting partner does not point the foot, and then when she walks off, can you walk away? It goes like that, and then it takes off my base. So you want to avoid that for obvious reasons, okay? You have to take off your ski boots and bring your Tango shoes so you can activate your ankles, 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 ankles. That is the example of a low Sakada, and more or less that is the way the feet should interact. Sometimes I see guys going too hard against the calf, and you got to be very careful about that. A lot of the things in life are not what they look like, and the Sakadas are one of them. So don't buy the looks, and don't think that you're gonna have to break her shins on every single Sakada and going pa, 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 because that is not the point. The point is to be precise and be gentle with your partner. You can be strong. In some of them, I don't even have contact with your foot literally, like I'm really not touching. Maybe I'm a half an inch away. So I let my partner come up to me. It's like I put myself in front of her path, and then she's the one that touches my foot. She's the one that touches my foot. Yeah, maybe sometimes I do touch against yours, but it's at the end of the extension. Practice will make you sensitive enough. It will give you the dexterity to distinguish a quarter inch to the left from a half an inch to the front. So you got to do this a few thousand times before you can really have a big range of comparisons and say, okay, those are the good ones, those are not so good ones. These are soft, these ones are too rough. So when you practice this, you have to have some sort of introspection to collect data from how you're doing. Mm-hmm. That is how you learn. Criticizing yourself. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, in this Sakada that you are teaching right now, you are not doing a contrabody, right? I'm doing a contrabody.
Oh, I'm doing a lot of contrabody, because if I'm doing with my right leg, I'm on a cross step.
Okay.
So my partner here is doing a front ocho, and that's what I'm saying. Here, the only requirement for a Sakada, in this case, is that your partner walks in front of you on a cross step. Here, you could do a Sakada with your right leg or with your left leg. I do not know in what circumstances this is happening or what leg the lead has available. But if, like I did a moment ago, if I go here, right here, I am in a cross position.
Yes. In that case, you are in a cross position.
Front ocho. Front ocho.
I have a lot of
Front ocho.
contrabody here. See?
We both have.
Yeah,
Because
I
we're
just want
doing-
to point to the ladies
Yes.
how much contrabody I have there and here.
Another thing that has to be built in before you can do a good sakada like this is not only the contrabody that you're mentioning, it's not only the position of the foot, but it's also the sliding of the foot. So the walking, not only also how you peel it off as a follow, but how you also present it ahead of yourself. This is what we call projection. The same way you project the light of a flashlight as you turn it on, you project the intention of your step as you begin moving your foot into that direction. As you do it ahead of your weight transfer, it gives you the chance to choose how much you transfer your weight. Am I going to hold back? Am I going to go halfway? Am I going to go full weight transfer? In the case of this Sakada, you do not go with the body first, because if you did that, your partner will be pushed off her axis,
Oh,
you
yeah.
see?
Yeah, yeah.
So in this case,
You are
good
projecting,
walking,
yeah.
yes, will you give me a little space?
Yes.
I'm going to do a couple walks, this way, this way, this way, that way. So you see, I go with an extension, try to lower my toes. The moment of the Sakada is that one. So a combination of flexion to be a little bit low, that way we take away the roundness of the hip. The hip is a ball joint, and the hip, if we move our leg in front, is going to make us increase the distance between the foot and the floor. But we want to move in a horizontal way. So what we do here is we flex a little bit so we can have a little bit more extension available, and then we push the foot, you see? So as that's happening, I'm able to search for the foot of my partner and come into contact.
For the ladies, this is not only for the ladies now. I mean, Patricio is showing this because he is doing the Sakada on me, but you will see later on in our Sakada that we need to do exactly the same thing. So you need to project the leg forward, because then you are going to do a Sakada on the lead, and you need that projection. If not, it doesn't feel good. You don't feel you have the time, or you have the space, or whatever. So you really want that projection. So after you turn, you will find very soon out that the leg needs to move ahead of you before you actually transfer your weight. Okay, so that applies for both of us. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Wesley has a good point. He's sharing with us the idea of using the wall for these exercises. You know, guys, another thing that we are doing is we are installing a bar. This week we're going to have a 16-foot long bar running across this wall. So I bet we're going to start enjoying Eva's bar technique videos as well, as they are very popular these days. So yeah, using the wall, Wesley, is definitely a plus. Using the floor is also very good. In a few minutes after we shape up this first figure, I'm going to share one more exercise for you guys to increase your disassociation. Where you are in the jungle, Wesley, you can grow a nice, thick, soft grass and have a nice, soft surface. You can use the grass as well. I bet it's going to be nice to work out there. So we already have one, and this can be done, like you see, with either my right leg or my left leg. That means I go cross or I go open step, either legs, and I continue into the turn. The one that we want to share with you is the continuity. We were discussing today's title for the class, and we weren't sure how to explain it, because this is a single Sakada. And a single Sakada is that, just one Sakada, an element. We like to call this elements of the tango, ingredients. Then you combine them in different ways, and every time you have a different combination. So if you repeat the same movement over and over in a rhythmic base, then you end up creating a figure. The one that I just did on the spot was one of them. My partner crosses into a front ocho. I overturn her until we become perpendicular, and then we take a lateral step. Here, side. Front ocho, overturn, front ocho. Front ocho, overturn, front ocho. Front ocho, overturn, front ocho. You see, that in itself is already a playful situation. Now, for example, I could add things to it. I could go side step, boleo, sacada. Side step, boleo, sacada. Side step, boleo, sacada. And if I want to put a back sacada there to exit, and that gives a nice cherry on top of the cake.
And if you want to do the back sacada, you can go and watch our previous video where we were working in back sacada.
The back sacada, yes. Now, there's another thing that I could do. I could create the movement of the front ocho that I know is needed out of a boleo. So my partner goes boleo, side step, sacada. Boleo, side step, sacada. And then finish with a back sacada, lapis, and a turn. I mean, this is not a finish. This will be the finish if I walk away. For example, if I do the side step, and instead of doing e boleo and enter into the sacada, in the same situation, I go here and I cross back, then it brings me into this sacada.
You change legs, yeah.
I changed leg. I brought my left leg forward, which is a sacada on position 1, according to Mingo Pugliese turn. That's something that we can share as well at some point.
Yeah.
Mingo's turns system. It will be a beautiful series. Now, that is a lot of possibilities for these sacadas. Now, one thing that I like to do is lead the follow into a sacada to me. I don't know if people could see that. I think we were a little bit on the edge of the screen.
Yeah.
We should call this step the scorpion, because it turns back, and it goes back and attacks from the back. You attack, I attack. I enter, you enter. Chick, 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 right? Although you can do a much more dramatic scorpion.
Yeah, no, I will keep it not so dramatic.
This is a horizontal scorpion. So you do a boleo, and she enters into a sacada. This is a very difficult step to do. So shall we discuss a couple of things for the follows?
Okay.
If you're going to do this, you got to get used to pivot when you do a boleo. Boleo, pivot, collect. Brush your ankles, brush your toes, or your heels together. Boleo, bring your knees, heels together. Therefore, you can then begin forward. But notice this. I'm insisting on this idea. If you study your tango technique, the day you are presented with these movements, you will learn them in 3 minutes or 5 minutes because you are already moving with the technicalities that are required. You already have the shape of a tango dancer.
The training, yeah.
Yes. So, practice this enough, boleo and forward. Boleo, pivot, forward. But you see this? I push my foot forward. I don't go boleo and then put my weight on the front. Because if a sacada is upcoming, you won't be able to materialize it, even if you really felt it. Boleo, she stopped. Now I'm going to walk in front of her, and I'm going to lead her right behind me. You see, Eva is literally behind my back. It just doesn't look like that because I am counter body in towards her. And I'm here pretty much giving a lot of strength to this position. I'm not going to stop there and stay a long time. It's passing through.
But this is part of the exercise we did at the beginning, that moment. See, the Patricio is with the foot on the floor, so he didn't leave the floor yet because I'm doing the sacada. He left by then, I will not be able to do the sacada, and he's here with me with the contra body, okay?
Something nice is this.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think first they need to do the other, because if not, they will start rushing that second part and they will not give enough time to do the sacada.
Voleo. Cross. Will you give me a little space? Planeo. Woo! I love it.
It's very nice, of course.
We're going to get back to the repetition, the scorpion. I'm just showing you how the counterbody rotation feeds what comes up. A moment ago I said nothing is isolated. One thing depends on the other, and it almost feeds the other. If you can sense what is happening, then you can do it. So we have the follow into a boleo. I stop her, you see, at a certain point. This begins earlier in the practice. You can make the follow do a boleo and turn away from you so she walks past you. In this case, you're going to go boleo and slow her down right where you are. Because what you want...
El pie que voy a hacer la sacada.
Yes. Well, the farther I put this foot, the more I will have to turn you.
Yeah.
So as she does a boleo, when her hip and her shoulders are lined up, that's a good place to lead her forward. All you want to do is lead her forward in front of you. See, that foot is over there. Eva is pointing her front towards that direction. Right here. Here. And what's very difficult for the follows is to ignore the fact that the lead is crossing in front of you. So, just look at me here. You can see me right here. You see that? You can see me through Eva's shoulder here. I walk, but that's what I do. I walk, but that is my track only. With my lead, with my frame, and the extension of this arm here, I lead you towards my back.
This is very hard for the leads, because you need to disassociate your thoughts of what you are doing and what you are making your partner do. So when you cross in front, as Patricia said, if you have your follow here, you need to go, but you don't bring your arms with you, because at the moment you do that, your partner will go with you and will fall in a front ocho. So as I'm the lead now, so if you have your partner here, you move, but you push straight here. See, this is a crucial moment if you want your follow to do a sacada on you. As soon as you tense this arm or turn her or push her off her center, she will not attempt to walk towards your back leg. So you need to, in mind, you need to have two different tracks. One is the track you go, and the other is the track you send your partner. Yes?
I would say that it's also difficult for the follow to understand this. In my experience,
we are not sent to the
yes.
correct direction. It's not possible, basically.
Can you repeat that?
If you don't send me to the right direction, it's really not possible for me to
yes,
go
yeah,
there.
but I don't mean to deny what you said.
Yeah,
I'm saying that it's also
know.
difficult for the follow.
Of course.
It's a difficult concept.
It is, because we are going towards your leg, doing a sacada, and we are not, ladies usually, we follows, whoever is following is
yes.
not usually doing sacadas. So.
As a lead, you are asking for an action. Mm-hmm. It's not the same to produce a reaction on your partner's body than it is to request an action. So then the lead will be who or whom simulates the reaction. Because again, don't forget that this is a simulation. You are leading a boleo, she walks into you, and you also walk out. She walks into you, you walk out. And this is the same movement for both. Mm-hmm. She does a sacada to me, I turn 180, walk straight. 180, walk straight. 180, 180, 180, 0, 180, 0, 180, 0, 180. So it's a combination of disassociation, swinging it right, swinging it left. You got to feel that the hip is kind of like a pendulum. Not a straight pendulum, but a circular pendulum. There are some, I think there are Nepalese drums, little drums with two strings and two balls that you roll them like that and they go one, bing, 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 bing. Those drums resemble the effect that I'm talking about. you cross body this way, you're going to come out that much. You see? So when you cross right, then you uncross the same amount. Kind of like you push as much as you went in. And this movement is the same for both. Boleo, she's there. She's going to go one step forward, and then turn to me. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn, and 1, 2, turn, and 1, 2, turn, and stop her, give her a gancho. See, when the technique is there, you can do anything, anytime, minus exceptions. The follow, Eva, walked into me with her legs straight. The separation between the thighs is enough that if I stop her and make her bend her leg a little bit, I have plenty of space for a gancho. If she would have come with a weak step, already hesitating or insecure about my request of taking a step onto my foot, you got to believe that the lead knows what he's doing, or that if he's doing that, there's a reason why. So if she had a good strong forward step onto me, you see here we're changing seats. I'm on the lead seat, but I'm doing the follows movement, because it is the same to lead my partner forward, put my leg and ask her for a gancho, that it is to bring myself forward, stop, go back and give a gancho. See what I mean? The movement is the same. There is no role in the lead or follow. No, the movement is exactly the same for both.
Especially in this, what we are doing is exactly the same. And it's interesting because not long ago we were working in the cadena, which is something that we are just doing like, how do you call it when it's como escalonado? Me sale en español. One go first and the other do the same afterwards. So
interspheres?
Probably, yeah. So it's the same thing, it's just that it happened at different times.
Oh, yes, yes. Because I go 1, 2, Sakada, 1, 2, Sakada, and Eva goes Sakada, 1, 2, Sakada, 1, 2, Sakada. She begins Sakada, step, step, Sakada, step, step, and I begin step, step, Sakada, step, step, Sakada.
But the pattern for each individual is exactly the same.
That is exactly right. Yeah. When you look at this from the top, then it resembles a yin-yang. Because the white is here, and there is a dot of white over there, while the black is here, and there is a dot of black on the other side. That's the beauty of it.
¿Vas a ponerle de arriba? No.
We're going to show the yin-yang tango movement. Oops, not from there. From there. Yes. The yin-yang tango movement from the ear. 1, 2, oops, we have no room for that.
Well, we had to move it a little bit away, I think. Opa.
Let's see if we can do it on the other side.
Yeah, but we are too close.
Well, I feel like we either come into the screen or out of the screen.
We can try to do it, but this is like very small space.
We need to bring the camera higher up in the air.
Yeah.
Let's do it again over there.
Let's do it.
Our students are smart people, so they will see it anyway. It's really nice.
Yeah.
You get the point. When you are drifting away to one side is when you are a little bit uneven in the combination of the movement, and sometimes you get pushed a little bit to the side. When you here the space is a little bit tight, so we are maneuvering around things. But when you practice this, look for that curvature, for that inclination, and then at some point you are in it, you won't fall anywhere anymore. You go like this. Maybe it's not 180, maybe it's 170. The point is you have to feel where she was. She takes a forward ocho. She's there. My Sakada will go right here. You have to develop that sensitivity. Her previous steps tells you where her foot is. She's standing right here. When she moves away from here, one foot will be in that location, right there. And I can count on that. The other foot is right here, below this shoulder, and I can count on that. I can count on this, and that, and this. Because you know the location of her axis, then you know where her feet were. Right? Top and bottom are lined up momentarily. All right, let's dance again.
Yes.
So this is a concept. We are showing you some steps, some figures that you can create out of it, but really the combinations are so many. Vamos a bailar una canción de lo muto otra vez.
Lo muto. Vamos con lo muto.
I stopped the music.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. And as you see, as you saw, maybe you observe in that particular improvisation that we did, is that I was adding a boleo in between. As I was walking, I was adding a boleo. Maybe the music just inspired me to do it that way. It was kind of upbeat music, you know. So as I was stepping after the Sakada, and I was stepping, I was lifting my leg.
Yes,
and
so
go
beautiful.
straight.
Oh, yes.
And that's just something that the music kind of told me to do.
Sometimes I do the same thing,
You
because
know?
when you receive a Sakada and you feel the foot, you become aware that you need to peel off the foot like that. We were talking about that earlier. Peel off the foot of the shoe or the foot off the floor. Then it makes sense to lift up. Sometimes it feels a little bit like, I don't remember what is this mathematical equation that says that the distance between a line parallel to the circle, to the center of a circle is the same. So the idea is that because you go through the top and the bottom, you are skipping the length of the pivot and the rotation. So it allows you to get there like on time. So
faster,
I think, we intuitively tap into that.
Yeah, well, for me it was more like I feel like the music has that upbeat kind of feeling.
Okay.
But I get your point, it's true, you get there faster anyways. But in different music, I might not do that. I might not feel like it fits the music. If the music was more melodic or slower, I might not do that. So, yeah, I think it's up to you. It's something that you can use to embellish what you are doing.
See what I mean? It's like I can roll on myself and cut back to the next
faster.
movement.
It's
way faster than if I have to transfer my weight and go around.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
you make it as an embellishment, but it's also an important tool we tango dancers use a lot to skip an obstacle difficulty.
Yes.
Very nice. That tango that we danced was rhythmic, and
yes.
it made it challenging because of the speed. So practice this slowly, maybe some disarly music. Maybe you do one at a time. There were places where I was leading you just one. It does not have to be the repetition, but the point of doing it, she does it, I do it, she does it, I do it, she does it, I do it. It makes it fun. You can practice counterclockwise. She does it, you do it, she does it, you do it, she does it, you do it. You both have to make an effort to leave your foot for your partner. Push off until the end. Push off until the end. If you pick up the foot, then it's like pulling the hand out on a high five, right? It's like we go, hey, high five, and then you go, oh. I mean, who likes that? There is no worse feeling than a sakada that was removed before. Sometimes the guys are too hard, and they hit too hard on the calf, so follows develop that intuition to say, I better get out of the way, I better get out of the way, I better. So if your partner is acting like that, well, maybe you're going too strong, right?
Yeah. But
just check yourself on that.
I think most of the time it's more that, it's the technique aspect of it. Because,
well, yes, it's not real. It's up to you. It's up to you, not after you.
Because what I find the most common is that ladies and lead and follow all the dancers had more difficulties in the transition of the step, in the extension of the leg behind yourself when you walk,
yes,
or in the front when you walk backwards. It's the same when you push the floor. This many times, that moment is kind of hijacked a little bit, like we just keep it. And that's very important, especially for things like this, like sacadas or many other things. But you need that transition, that weight transfer from point A to point B completely, so you have the control all the time, and you cut the projection forward or back. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I agree. You're so on point. Often we forget that there's always two sides to everything. So we are like those people who comb the front of their head and they have a big knot in the back, you know. It's just like you only see what you have in the mirror. You gotta check the back, you know. You go the front part, don't forget the back. What's happening behind you? That's very important. Pay attention to what's not in front of your eyes. Good. You know, Eva, this is tremendous. We have so much to share. Tango is just flowing through our veins and through the cables here, and we forget something that is really important. Yes, we need to ask people for support to keep moving forward. Things have not changed. We have been doing this for what, several months now, like probably 6 months by now, more.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well,
In July, we started with Hugo and Selena. We did some shows, and then we started doing this regularly. Yeah, it's probably been a year that we started with some streamings, and we have gone a long way. We have brought internet connection to the studio. We have turned this into a multimedia studio. We continue investing in the development of this place so we can continue sharing tango with you, but we need your support. So please, as you see, we are still buying equipment, and today we are enjoying our first night with the camera switch in my hands. I'm going to have it connected for next week. but please, we need your donations to keep moving forward. So don't be shy. I know you can read this. Make a donation, venmo.com/Patricio and Eva or paypal.me/Tango Experts. Either way, you can also drop a check or just ask us how you can make your contribution available. Any amount is welcome. $5, $10, $50, $100, whatever you think is good to support. We want to share tango with the entire world, and we need your support to do it. We're gonna dance one more song and then we're gonna leave because it's time to leave. We also have the Milonga happening 2 times a month in Seattle, first and third Friday of the month. We have private lessons during the week. We are putting together a tango weekend, Liber Tango weekend, here in Seattle, the weekend of my birthday, September 17, 18, and 19. 3 nights of dancing, workshops, and fun with friends. So keep your ears open to when you hear about that. Let's dance one song, and then we part our ways.
It sounds good. For being there. See you next Saturday. Take care. Thank you.
See you next week.